Hey everyone, welcome back to Reissued. If you're new here, my name is Andrew. As I reflect back on 2024, there were so many projects, large and small, from the DIY pack stores in the bedroom, to the Hobby Lobby art tile trivets in the kitchen, to the final reveal of the finished primary bedroom, to the little kitchen refresh that turned into a full-blown makeover. But the real main event of 2024, the labor of love that took literally all year, is the primary bathroom. And today, the primary bathroom is finished. And so in this video, I'm gonna take you with me for the final stages of this full-blown gut renovation and share with you the killer thrifted finds and DIY projects that took this project across the finish line. I can't wait to get started today and to reveal this finished space to you finally. Let's jump on it. Now, before we move forward and complete this bathroom renovation, let's take a moment to reflect on what's happened so far. If you aren't up to date on the bathroom renovation series, be sure to check out the bathroom makeover playlist. I'll link that down in the description box in case you want to check out the full details on all of the projects that have happened so far. But if you are up to date, let's walk down memory lane, shall we? First, remember that I wanted a space that complemented the energy of the adjoining primary bedroom with its dark academia overtones, cool sophistication, and calm, serene Zen vibes. This bathroom started with sage green and beige tiles on the walls and part of the floor, with fake wood floors on the rest of the floor to make up for the unevenness of the floor. The pedestal sink left us with zero counter space, and the extra door that used to go through to the back porch addition left us with a tiny shower corner, an out in the open toilet, and no storage at all. So back in January, we started from square one by ripping out everything except the pretty stripped oak ceiling. The second door got closed up when we built the other bathroom, so we made major layout changes by moving the vanity where the door had been and the toilet where the shower had been. The tub got centered on the window with plans to add a European-style ceiling-mounted shower tub combo. And the wall over by the bedroom got a little bit thicker to add a pocket door to resolve the way this door used to weirdly swing outward. We added two half walls on either side of the tub for added storage, with a thrifted kitchen cabinet as shelving on the right side, and a hidden storage pull-out unit made from thrifted wood and drawers on the left side. All the lower walls got wrapped in beadboard, and we added a little extra hidden storage behind a $4 Goodwill frame. I decided that a murky, bronzy, brownish gray called cut cedar from Magnolia would give this room the moodiness that it needed and would warm up the room a bit since it gets tons of natural light. Privacy on the huge windows came in the form of automated cellular shades from Allison that gave a touch of the origami inspiration from the adjoining primary bedroom. We tiled the upper walls in white subway tile and the floors in white vintage style mosaic tile, both from a liquidation center. We installed this beautiful smart toilet from Horo and used thrifted walnut plywood to wrap this restore vanity and give it a mid-century meets Art Deco look. We popped on a quartz top with an attached sink from the Restore with a sleek new black faucet and hung this vintage mid-century wood mirror from the Restore to complete the vanity area. Clean modern sconces from Mitzi and a vintage-inspired double light from Facebook Marketplace lit up the space. And let's not forget the boob light / bathroom fan combo that got the DIY makeover of the year. Seriously, I think this wins the award for best glow up of the year on my channel. So that brings us to the present day. Almost all of the elements are present in the space, but those final details, like the last 20% of the project, have had us sitting in limbo for the last 2 months waiting to be completed. So let's get to it. First things first, we need to add some handles to this vanity since it literally can't be opened without them. I mentioned in the vanity makeover video that I really liked the look of the vanity with no hardware, since it felt both very modern and also had kind of a 20s, 30s feel. I was worried that traditional hardware would compete with the beautiful wood grain on this, or that it would just slap a date on this piece that up to this point has been really timeless. So we did an experiment to make our own handles with leftover pieces of the same thrifted walnut plywood that we used to wrap the vanity. We started by cutting 3/4 inch strips on the table saw. To give a little finger grip, we wanted to cut an angle on the back. 45 degrees felt too sharp and severe, so cutting 30 degrees off the back softened the angle but still gave a nice grip. And to complete the handle shape, we cut a 1/4 inch off the back to reduce the depth and make these a bit sleeker and more streamlined. Now we cut them down to the correct lengths to match the widths of the drawers and door, being sure to center the grain and keep the symmetry we have going. And now with all these pieces cut, You guessed it, we're pulling out the iron-on edge banding again. I think this has to be named our hack of the year. It's just so simple to do and so effective. I ironed this on our handles to cover up all the plywood edges on the top, bottom, and sides, and make this look and feel more solid. For a more in-depth look at this process, check out the original bathroom vanity video or my IKEA framing hacks video. With our handles complete, we can clamp them in place flush with the top of the drawer fronts and door, and screw them in to make them blend seamlessly into the vanity. With everything in one piece, I hit the handles and the whole piece with the butcher block oil/polyurethane combo that treats and seals the wood all in one and brings out the beautiful natural shade of the walnut. I did this once before the handles went on, but it soaked in a lot and started to look kind of ashy, so 2 coats minimum seems to be the way to go. And the vanity's done! Kinda. We opted to make a single door that tips out to act as a laundry hamper, so I think we need to add a bag here to make this functional. I was planning to make a bag from scratch using this bag that came in a little rolling laundry cart that I bought at Goodwill in my very first Thrift With Me video ages ago. However, I think this bag might work fine. I prefer a natural canvas to this cheap poly tote bag fabric, but I'm going to use this for a while to figure out what works and doesn't work about it so that I can make my custom bag accordingly. We want this bag to be removable, so we add bars to the front and back cut from an old curtain rod. Then we add a wood piece across the center of the vanity to attach these utility clips that will hold our bar. With some more clips on the door, we can pop the bag in place. I opted to use this area for laundry storage since we have so much open and hidden storage in other areas of this space, and I didn't really have a good laundry solution, so I think this will work great. Now let's get back to the tub. Once we got the placement right, we were ready to start the plumbing process. We're adding this stunning vintage-inspired shower tub combo surround from Vintage Tub and Bath in the oil rug bronze shade. Way back in my bathroom planning video when I decided to scrap the separate shower idea and make this into a vintage shower tub combo, I knew that I was gonna need some hardware that was really beautiful and durable and functional for this space. And so I reached out to Vintage Tub and Bath about doing a partnership, and I'm so happy and grateful that they were willing to send me this product to finish off my bathroom. But before we install this, we need to paint the tub. Remember that the previous owners had painted the tub with this lily pad design, which was cute, but not my vibe. When we flipped the tub around, which looked better with the new layout, this side had a really pretty green painted patina that I almost decided to keep. But I ultimately decided it didn't work with the brownish walls and the terracotta accents that I already had in the plan. Plus, I felt like we needed a strong dark element to add contrast to the room and make the black faucet on the vanity make sense. So black we go, with leftover blackboard paint that my parents had on hand. I know that we're all over the chalk paint thing, but this paint applied so beautifully with 2 coats and left a super even velvety finish over this rough tub surface. So gold star for chalk paint. Now we can install the shower surround. This was actually the very last thing that we did in this space, since it was a really drawn out process. Vintage Tub and Bath was so wonderful and patient with me. We went to install this back in October, I think, and we realized that 2 little parts had been missing from our order, and so they sent those right away. We went to install it again at the beginning of December, and we realized that the enclosure at the top was the wrong size. Totally my fault. I was thinking that I could use the 60-inch since the tub is 60 inches, but since the faucet had to sit inside the tub since we already had those holes there, that pushed everything over and pushed us down to a 54-inch enclosure. So Vintage Tub and Bath sent me those pieces right away, and we finally got everything installed. My dad is so amazing and handy and did so much wiring and plumbing work in this space, including the installation of this shower surround. If he weren't so handy, I'm not sure this would have been a DIY job. This was a little bit complicated. There were so many different parts to put together and the directions were kind of tricky, but I think the result is absolutely stunning and it was perfect for what I needed for this space. With the shower surround installed, we can hang these shower curtains that I picked up on Amazon. I wasn't totally sure how much curtain I needed and where I would want the breaks in the curtains to be, so I opted for 2 84-inch curtains in a linen look polyester fabric that's coated with the waterproof finish. I didn't want to mess with outer curtains and a liner since I wanted this to feel more simple and effortless. I wish I had gotten curtains with magnets sewn in the hem, but I chose to prioritize fabric and size this time, so hopefully these will work for my needs. Now, if you're a regular here on my channel, you may be wondering, Andrew, you did the last bathroom makeover installment back in September. What has taken so long? In addition to trying to find the right rug and accessories for the space, and the whole shower hardware thing, I was mostly trying to find the right piece for the dry bar, which is going over where the pedestal sink used to be. Remember that I wanted to add a little extra counter space and mirror space in this room as a place to put on skincare or hair products for things that don't really involve the sink, and I had the toughest time sourcing a piece to go here. I needed really specific dimensions to match the width and the height that I was looking for and to keep this really shallow so it didn't come out past the door. I also wanted some storage, preferably a drawer, and stylistically, I wanted something that was vintage or antique. Since we built the bathroom vanity more or less from scratch and it feels very constructed, I wanted this piece to feel like an existing piece of furniture that was found, not an additional bathroom vanity installed, if that makes sense. And finally, since our bathroom vanity is kind of solid and dense, I wanted this piece to feel a little bit more ethereal or spindly or just visually lighter. So that made a pretty hefty list of things that we were looking for. And after months of searching Goodwills and REISSUED and Facebook Marketplace and antique stores and finding some amazing pieces and coming really close a couple of times, I finally landed on this little oak curio cabinet that I found at the REISSUED for $15. It's missing the shelf, which is probably why it was marked down so much, but we can handle that. I'll admit that this is nothing like what I thought I was looking for. There was a solid month that Matt was sending me pictures all the time of like, would this work? Would this work? And I always had a reason why the style wasn't right, the dimensions weren't right, all of these things. And then at the end of the day, I went with something that was like nothing that we talked about. It doesn't have a drawer or any sort of hidden storage, but the timing and the price point just came together and it just felt like the right thing. So just a reminder that even if you have a clear idea of what you want, fate can offer you something else, which is why we love thrifting. We need this piece to have a shelf and a couple extra inches of height so that it can sit over the baseboard. So we cut a shelf out of some spare plywood and made some legs out of the remnants of the dumpster bed from my studio counter desk. Remember this? We had this crossbar from the bed sitting behind my sofa all year, so let's make some legs. First, I sand down the ends with an 80 grit sandpaper to remove the dark stain, and then a 220 grit to smooth it out. Next, my dad cut them down with a miter saw. And I stained the legs and the shelf to match the cabinet. After 2 coats of colonial maple stain and 2 coats of clear polyurethane sealant, we can attach the legs and screw the cabinet into the wall to secure it in place. To complete the look, I'm adding this vintage mirror that I found at the REISSUED for $10. I love this kind of Victorian look that's more on the geometric side. It really ties all the shapes of the room together and adds to the dark academia look. Let's finish off the construction in this space by staining the door in the same espresso shade that I used on the bedroom mantle, and adding a coat of dark paste wax. Remember that this is the door that used to be on the old ULC. That's short for useless little closet if you're new here. I finish off the doorway by touching up the grout on the floor along the new threshold. My dad made this threshold off camera by adding an old threshold from another part of the house to the existing threshold to widen it. I filled, stained, and sealed it off camera to match the bedroom floor and create a seamless transition. Now we can finish off the space with some styling. We start by adding a $5 hookboard from Goodwill over by the toilet for visual interest and extra towel storage. I had planned to paint it out to match the wall, but I think the dark stain is kind of nice, so let's just give it a coat of dark paste wax to even out the finish. And let's add some brass hooks by the open shelves that we can use for hand towels or bath towels.
No, I'm probably blocking the camera.
No, you're doing fine. I love to ask for your input as a part of the renovation process here on YouTube. So back in my planning video, when I was trying to decide on a color scheme for the room, I got a lot of comments and a lot of recommendations. And shout out to Erica, who shared her idea of keeping things neutral, but adding some terracotta towels to the space to add that pop of color. I think she did that in her space, and I'm totally stealing her idea here. So thank you so much, Erica. After a quick search for terracotta towels, I came across these ones from Quince in a beautiful waffle weave kind of finish. And so I reached out to Quince, and they were so kind to send me these towels ages ago. They've been sitting around my house for so long, and I can't wait to see them in the space. Thank you, Quince. I also picked up some additional towels from Target since I love the warm cream with rusty accents, which ties in perfectly with the rug, also from Target. This is officially the only non-Persian rug in my house, but I really wanted something washable in this space, and the color and pattern complement the rug in the bedroom without competing. Quick side note here, because I spent so much time looking for washable rugs, that's not really what I usually shop for, but the other thing that makes this rug work for me is that the pattern is actually made up by different colors of thread as opposed to something that is just all over printed. I tend to think that a printed rug looks really cheap, but something that actually has pattern in the way the fibers are woven is a lot more beautiful and a lot more expensive looking in my opinion, and this rug was only $20. Remember this $5 Restore stool that I used in my kitchen makeover? Well, I think it works better in here, so we're gonna find something else for the kitchen. I finish off the styling with lots of glassware. This amber depression glass candy dish from an antique store, although I literally saw the exact same dish at Goodwill like 2 weeks later for half the price. This is why I don't buy from antique stores very often. Lots of other little glass jars and canisters add places for bath and body products and give a nice apothecary touch. It can be tough to add style and story in a bathroom space since you don't want to overwhelm the function of the space with unnecessary accessories, so making the functional elements beautiful and unique and hiding away all the ugly necessary products that don't add to the look is key. And with so many eclectic elements and styles going on in this space, the clear glass accessories become kind of a unifying element throughout. I was feeling that the room was a bit too monochromatic with all the warm brown and amber tones, so adding a few little celadon accents gives a nice touch of depth and contrast. And as much as I'd love to go plant shopping again with Matt, I'm kind of overwhelmed with plants right now as it is, so I'm moving around some plants from other spaces or using what Matt already had on hand to add a little green to this space. The light in this room is amazing, so I might add more plants down the line. A touch of fresh eucalyptus for color and fragrance, and we're done. Alright everybody, Thank you so much for joining me on this crazy journey. If you've been with me all the way since January in the planning video and have been watching along, thank you for your patience. I hope it really pays off here and that you love the way this room looks. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more home makeover content, be sure to hit the like button. And if you want to follow along with my home renovation, be sure that you're subscribed. I'm doing a little pantry refresh video next week that's going to be amazing, so I can't wait to show you that as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon.